Bobby East was one of the biggest names in the dirt track world in the early 2000s. He was a rising star with superstar potential, but he followed the same path as many USAC drivers around this time. After getting their initial starts in professional racing in USAC, they tried to jump ship to NASCAR, like Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon. However, Bobby wouldn't transition to stock cars very easily, and he'd be out of the sport just as quickly as he came in. However, after his long NASCAR career, Bobby's life would be tragically cut short. Robert John East was born on December 17, 1984, just outside of Los Angeles. His family moved to Indiana when he was young, when his father, Bob East, established Beast Enterprises. Quickly, Bob became a renowned car builder for short tracks and midgets specifically. His Beast chassis won 16 USAC titles in 17 seasons from 1989 to 2005. This set Bobby up very well in the world of racing, as he grew up knowing people in the industry. Plus, he was able to learn from his dad. But this doesn't mean he was given anything, as his dad made him work for opportunities early in his career. By age 16, Bobby was racing in the USAC National Midget Series, and his talent was obvious. On July 11, 2001, Bobby became the youngest driver to win a USAC feature event, after he passed Casey Kane and Tracy Hines in the closing stages of a race at Indiana Motor Speedway. After a couple more years, it was clear that he was ready for a championship push. With Ford support, Bobby was able to climb into USAC's most coveted ride at the time, Steve Lewis's number 9 car. Bobby met every expectation people placed on him, as he went out and won the 2004 Midget National title in his first shot with his new team, picking up many trophies along the way. With the help of Ford, this is when things set in motion to get Bobby behind the wheel of a stock car. This move may be looked back with criticism now, but honestly, you can't blame him for pursuing NASCAR. In the mid-2000s, NASCAR was at the height of its popularity, and top drivers were earning upwards of $10 million a year, versus what midget car drivers were making at the time. Additionally, several drivers had proven the move from USAC could not only work, but be very successful. Bobby's first ARCA start did not go as planned, as he was taken out on lap 2 in an 8-car pileup after starting a strong 15th. 3 weeks later, he made his Busch Series debut, running a strong 17th place for JTG Daugherty Racing at Memphis. Earlier in the year, he had attempted to qualify for 2 truck races, but didn't qualify at both IRP and Richmond. On November 11th, he made his Truck Series debut for Jack Roush at Phoenix. He started 13th and ran well all day long, but was collected in a late crash and finished in 30th. So in the course of a month, Bobby had made his debut in 3 different series, and showed flashes in each of them. He was in the mix in qualifying, and had a solid finish in his first Busch Series start. He had speed, but now it was time to start refining his racecraft. For the 2006 season, Bobby East ran in the Truck Series under the Wood Brothers banner, but was still in collaboration with JTG. JTG's side of the garage fielded rookie Marcus Ambrose, who everyone knew would be fast. After missing the first 2 races, Bobby started the season how you would hope, staying out of trouble and running all of the laps. Throughout the course of the season, his speed didn't pick up the way that his team had hoped. He didn't manage a single top 10 throughout the entire season. Meanwhile, Ambrose had 4 top 10s and 2 top 5s. This resulted in Bobby losing his ride. This, of course, is tough for any racer, but must have been especially for Bobby because he had been so used to winning at an early age. To go from a national champion to 23 races outside the top 10 must have been painful. Additionally, according to Bobby's family, it seemed that race teams were more interested in the funding Ford could bring to a team than developing a young driver for years. So this must have made negotiations much harder, but East finally landed on his feet at Bruco Motorsports in the Busch Series in mid-2007. He bounced around the 27, 37, and 43 cars for 10 races, finding little success. Once again, no top 10 finishes, but ended the year on a high with a Busch Series best finish of 12th at Homestead. 2008 was Bobby's last chance to make an impression. He was able to put a 7-race still together to race for Roush in the Truck Series. Once again, he showed flashes, starting 4 of these races in the top 6, including a pole at IRP. He also finished 8th twice, at Texas and Memphis. After qualifying Carl Edwards' Busch car in Memphis later in the year, Bobby East, at only 23 years old, was out of NASCAR for good. It's safe to say that Bobby never got a real shot to develop and show the skill he had. After his disappointing NASCAR tenure, East's family started to notice changes in his behavior as they theorized he started battling alcohol abuse and depression. Despite some struggles in his personal life, he started to race in USAC Silver Crown Series and immediately went back to winning. He joined Tony Stewart's team and won back-to-back Silver Crown championships in 2012 and 2013. Bobby was proving to everyone he was a fantastic driver, and although NASCAR didn't work out for him, he could still have a successful racing career. At the 2014 season finale at the New York State Fairgrounds, East led 54 laps but settled for a 3rd place finish. That would be the last race he ever competed in. Bobby wasn't even 30 and was still at the top of his game. His dad said, "He just said he went to Tony Stewart's shop and told him that this was going to be his last year. I was really surprised. You can't do what he did before the age of 30 and expect that somebody's going to quit." It was very weird for someone of his drive, skill level, and intensity to just quit racing in his prime. There are a couple theories of why Bobby quit. I'm personally not going to speculate too much, but the 2 theories are that his alcohol and substance abuse started to take over his personal life, and another theory is of his concussion history. Oddly, Bobby didn't stay in racing or move to a real estate or business ownership with his wealth. Instead, Bobby was finding jobs at fast food restaurants and other entry-level jobs. But shortly after this, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Bobby's parents later revealed that they believed that repeated head trauma from crashes in various racing series contributed to his worsening condition. They claimed that the once motivated, ferocious competitor, by the end of his career, did not really even have emotions about winning a race. After some mandatory treatment, Bobby moved out west in California on his own away from his friends and family. He worked random part-time jobs, bounced around houses, and didn't have a permanent address. He apparently really liked the lifestyle, but it was obvious that his mental health condition worsened and he needed severe help. Several years later, on July 13th, 2022, Bobby was filling up at a gas station in Westminster, California. He and another man, later identified as Trent Sapp, exchanged words. No one knows what was said or why the two started talking. Regardless, after just moments, Trent pulled out a knife and stabbed Bobby in the chest. Trent fled to the scene while Bobby clinged to life. A few short hours later, Bobby East passed away due to his injuries in the stabbing. Less than 8 years after unexpectedly retiring from his lifelong passion, Robert East was gone. Once Trent Sapp was identified as the primary suspect, a SWAT team went to an apartment in nearby Anaheim to serve an arrest warrant on Sapp. After he was confronted, Trent became confrontational and was shot and killed after posing a threat to the officers. With the suspect and victim both dead, it was unlikely the full story would ever come out. NASCAR put out a statement a couple of days later confirming the news. NASCAR is saddened to learn of the tragic death of Bobby East. We extend our deepest and heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Bobby, a true racer. Many fans, teams, and drivers shared kind words and memories they had with the East family over the following days. This included Brad Keselowski, Todd Bodine, Tony Stewart, and more. Bobby East was an enthusiastic, driven, and big-time prospect in North American motorsports. He showed that he had the talent it took by winning 3 USAC titles. He just unfortunately didn't have the right breaks and opportunities in NASCAR. Tragically, his life was taken too short, and it is a shame we won't know for sure the reason for his death. The support showed by the fans, drivers, and teams of NASCAR and USAC after his death showed how much of an impact he made on both sports. And that's it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you never miss a video. That's it from me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.